There is a shocking truth hidden in plain sight. Human beings are not confined to the three dimensions they see, touch, and measure. Think about it. Every wall you've ever touched, every star you've gazed upon, every dollar you've earned, every relationship you've lived, these are not the full picture. They are only the surface layer. The end result of a process you were never taught about. Right now, without even realizing it, you are living in contact with a higher dimension, an invisible field that silently governs everything you call reality. And this truth has been concealed from you since childhood. You see, from the very beginning, you were trained to see the world as solid, external, and fixed. You were told, this is a table. This is a chair. This is who you are. And once you accepted it, you stopped questioning. But reality is not a brick wall. It is not fixed, immovable, or final. Reality is a living canvas, constantly painted and repainted by your own consciousness. Pause for a moment and think of a movie screen. On the surface, you see images, moving, alive, emotional. But behind those images is a hidden reel, a source you cannot see. Without the reel, the images disappear. And so it is with your life. Everything you see around you, your career, your health, your relationships, is the projected image. But the true source is hidden. It lives in dimensions beyond your senses, dimensions that your consciousness touches every single moment. The world doesn't want you to know this. Because once you understand that what you see is only the effect, you will stop chasing the shadows and begin to shape the cause. That's why the greatest minds, mystics, philosophers, and now even scientists, have insisted that the real world is not the one you see with your eyes. It is the unseen, the invisible, the field beneath appearances. Imagine a child reaching out to touch a wall. The child believes the wall is solid, immovable. But suddenly, the wall ripples like liquid light, revealing that what was thought to be solid reality is, in truth, a vibration, a field of energy responding to perception. This is not fantasy. It is closer to the real nature of reality than what you've been told in school. Your life is not being driven from the outside in. It is being streamed from the inside out. From a dimension you cannot see with your eyes, but that you constantly shape with your mind. The thoughts you repeat. The emotions you dwell on. The identity you claim. These are not empty, private experiences. They are the film reel. And what you call reality is the projection. This is why you may have noticed patterns repeating in your life. The same struggles. The same setbacks. The same cycles. It is not coincidence. It is not bad luck. It is simply the projection of a reel that has not yet changed. But here lies the power. If you change the reel, if you change your inner state of consciousness, the outer projection must follow. For most people, this truth remains hidden, buried under layers of conditioning. They go through life rearranging the screen, fighting with shadows, trying to control external events, never realizing that the screen has no power on its own. But when you awaken to the hidden dimension, when you realize the world is only the projection, not the source, you begin to step into your true creative power. You begin to see that life is not happening to you. It is happening through you. And that shift changes everything. For decades, hidden behind locked doors and classified documents, governments and scientists conducted experiments that most people would dismiss as impossible. Yet the results revealed something extraordinary: human beings are not bound by the five senses. Ordinary men and women, soldiers, teachers, office workers, were trained to reach beyond the limits of sight and sound. They described distant cities they had never visited. They reported secret facilities on the other side of the planet with details so accurate they could be verified later. They sensed events before they happened, sometimes days, sometimes months in advance. This was not fantasy. It was not hallucination. It was evidence that consciousness is not confined to the body. These people were tuning into the hidden machinery of reality itself. What was discovered shook the foundations of science, psychology, and even national security. If the human mind could travel across space and time, if thoughts could reach beyond the body and pierce the veil of the future, then reality is far larger, far stranger, and far more malleable than we were ever told. And yet, instead of teaching this to the public, much of it was locked away in secrecy. Why? Because the truth is dangerous. It reveals that the physical world, the solid reality you see around you, is not the cause of your life. It is the frozen effect of your inner state of consciousness. Think about that. Your beliefs, your attitudes, your emotions, your sense of, I am, these are not invisible background feelings. They are blueprints. Blueprints that shape the world you walk into. Every single moment, whether you realize it or not, you are unconsciously selecting which version of the future you will live. The outer world, what you call your circumstances, your luck, your opportunities, is simply reshuffling itself like a grand stage play to match the inner script you hold. Picture this: you are sitting in a theater. The curtains rise, and a scene unfolds. But what you see on stage is not random. It is written in a script. And you are the writer. The tragedy is that most people write without knowing they are writing. They live by default. They recycle old beliefs, repeat old emotions, and unconsciously create the same stage play, year after year. This is why people often feel trapped in cycles, struggling with the same patterns, meeting the same kinds of people, facing the same financial limits or personal struggles. They believe life is repeating itself against them, but in truth, it is repeating itself through them. Because the inner script hasn't changed. But when those government experiments revealed that consciousness can reach across space and time, they also revealed something else. That consciousness is not passive. It is active. It is shaping. It is creating. When you hold an idea long enough, when you dwell in a feeling consistently, when you claim an identity within yourself, even silently, the outer world must reorganize to reflect it. Not by magic, but by law. By the same law that keeps planets orbiting stars and seeds growing into trees. Imagine a glowing grid overlaying the Earth, streams of light branching in every direction, representing infinite possibilities of the future. At every moment, you are standing at a crossroads. Each belief, each choice, each I am you claim directs you down one of those glowing streams. You step into a timeline. And the stage play rearranges itself. This is why mystics said, as within, so without. It is why modern physics now whispers that the observer is inseparable from the observed. And it is why your private inner world, the thoughts no one hears, the emotions no one sees, may be the most powerful force shaping your destiny. The hidden experiments proved it. But your life is living it. Every déjà vu. Every pattern. Every synchronicity. They are reminders that reality is not fixed. It is flexible. It is responding to you. And the most extraordinary discovery is this. When you become conscious of the script you are writing, you are no longer a victim of life. You become the author. Time itself is not what you think it is. You were taught to imagine time as a straight line, past behind you, future ahead of you, and the present as a fleeting dot moving endlessly forward. But this is an illusion. Time is not a line. Time is a dimension, like space, where past, present, and future all coexist at once. Think of it this way: when you walk through a city, the streets and buildings don't appear only when you arrive. They already exist. You are simply moving through them, choosing which road to take. Time works in the same way. The past is not gone. The future is not waiting to be built. All possibilities already exist, like streets branching in every direction. And every moment, your consciousness is choosing which street to walk down, which timeline to experience. This is why you sometimes feel flashes of déjà vu. Why you sometimes know something before it happens. The sudden certainty that you're about to meet someone, only to see them appear seconds later. The phone ringing just as you think of the person calling. The dream that later plays out in waking life. These are not accidents. They are not coincidences. They are glimpses of your deeper nature, the part of you that is not confined to the ticking clock, the part of you that perceives across dimensions. Modern physics now whispers what mystics declared thousands of years ago, that the observer does not simply witness reality, but participates in selecting it. That the act of observation collapses waves of probability into solid events. In other words, you are not walking through time. You are selecting timelines. And here lies the most extraordinary truth of human life, its flexibility. You are not chained to one destiny. There is not one single road you must endure until the end. There are countless versions of you, countless possible futures branching out like rivers into infinity. The internal state you hold, your beliefs, your emotions, your sense of identity, is what selects which branch you step into. When you change inside, the outside must follow. When you shift your inner frequency, reality itself rearranges. Imagine standing at the edge of a great river. From its source, countless streams branch off in every direction. Some streams lead to joy. Some lead to struggle. Some lead to discoveries you cannot yet imagine. At every moment, you are standing at this river, and your inner state determines which stream you enter. Your choices, your thoughts, your I am, these are the oars that steer the boat. This means the future is not something you stumble into. It is something you choose, moment by moment. Not always consciously, but always perfectly aligned with the vibration you carry within. And when you realize this, when you stop seeing time as a prison and start seeing it as a dimension of infinite choice, you awaken to your true power. You are not a victim of the past. You are not bound to a single destiny. You are a traveler of timelines. Every time you shift your inner state, you alter the direction of your life. You step into a new stream. You walk a new path. You merge with a different future. And the astonishing truth is this. The version of you that already succeeded, that already healed, that already awakened, it exists right now. It is not far away in some distant tomorrow. It is here, waiting in one of the streams, calling you to align with it. Time is not linear. It is alive, flexible, and infinite. And you are the navigator. For thousands of years, the greatest mystics whispered a truth that most of humanity dismissed as myth or metaphor. A truth so radical, so simple, that if you grasp it, your life can never be the same. Neville Goddard revealed it with astonishing clarity. Your imagination is not mere daydreaming. It is not fantasy, not idle thought. It is the blueprint of reality itself. When you imagine something vividly, when you feel it as real within, you are not pretending. You are drafting the architecture of the universe. And in time, that inner vision must become fact without. Every invention humanity has ever created, airplanes, music, art, technology, began as nothing more than imagination. But what Neville pointed out was even more profound. Not only inventions, but every circumstance of your personal life, your relationships, your finances, your health, are shaped by this same law. What you accept inwardly as true, your outer world eventually reflects. Then came Ramana Maharshi, pointing from a different angle but toward the same truth. He asked the simplest question in existence, who am I? A question so sharp it cuts through illusions like a blade. And as you strip away every answer, your name, your job, your past, your beliefs, you arrive at something no label can touch. The silent awareness, I am. That pure, I am, is not a personality. It is not an identity. It is the source, the ground, the very fountainhead from which all manifestation flows. From that core, reality takes its shape. And just when you might think this is only mysticism, another voice joins the chorus, modern science. Quantum physics, the most precise science ever developed, stumbled upon the same conclusion. At the quantum level, reality exists not as solid particles, but as waves of infinite possibilities, floating, uncertain, undefined. Nothing is fixed until the observer looks. And in that act of observation, the wave collapses into a single outcome. Think about this carefully. Science now admits that without consciousness, there is no physical world as you know it. The universe waits for you to decide. The mystics said it in poetry, you create your world. Science confirms it in equations, the observer collapses the wave function. Two languages, one truth. This means you are not just drifting through life, carried by random chance. You are literally deciding which universe unfolds in front of you, every moment, through the state of consciousness you maintain. So when Neville said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, he was not speaking metaphorically. He was handing you the key to creation. When Ramana said, find the source of the I, he was not being abstract. He was pointing you back to the eternal spring of manifestation. And when physics shows us that consciousness selects reality from infinite probabilities, it is giving scientific proof of the same eternal law. The mystics saw it within. The scientists measured it without. But they both arrived at the same revelation. The power of creation is not out there, it is in you. So the next time you imagine, don't dismiss it as make-believe. The next time you declare, I am, don't think it's just words. You are engaging the very mechanism that shapes galaxies. Pause here and let this sink in. Every thought, every assumption, every belief you hold is not just private. It is a command, spoken directly into the fabric of existence. And the universe, neutral and precise, will obey. Here lies the hidden access, the door humanity has overlooked for centuries. It is not in temples, not in ancient scrolls, not in the stars. It is closer than all of these. It is the pure sensation of, I am, within you. The unshakable awareness that you exist. Before the thought of a name, before any story of who you are, there is only this, I am. This is the most powerful creative force in the universe. When you say, I am loved. I am abundant. I am free. And you hold this state, not just as words, but as a living vibration inside you. The outer world cannot resist. It must conform. Because consciousness does not beg reality to change. Consciousness commands reality to change. Think of it as planting a seed. At first, nothing appears to happen. The soil looks the same. The world seems unchanged. But beneath the surface, something is stirring. Invisible roots begin to form. Life reorganizes itself around the seed's potential. And in time, what was once unseen bursts into form. Your consciousness is that seed. Reality is the soil. Whatever you hold in the fertile ground of your I am will grow. Most people never realize this. They spend their lives rearranging the soil, moving jobs, chasing money, demanding love, clinging to relationships, without understanding that the soil is only a mirror. It reflects the seed already planted. Change the soil without changing the seed, and nothing truly transforms. The patterns return, the struggles repeat, the cycle continues. But the moment you change the seed, your inner state, your I am, the whole field of your life must eventually transform. It is law. A seed of fear will sprout into situations that confirm fear. A seed of lack will grow into experiences of scarcity. But plant the seed of freedom, of joy, of abundance, of love, and watch the entire landscape of your existence bend toward it. This is not wishful thinking. It is not naive optimism. It is the hidden mechanics of creation itself. Every tree you've ever seen, every city, every invention, every human life, all began as a seed, invisible to the eye, undeniable in its unfolding. And so it is with you. Your thoughts are seeds. Your emotions are water. Your persistence is sunlight. The universe itself is the soil, ready, waiting, alive. Responding with perfect neutrality to whatever you plant. Pause for a moment now. Strip away every story, every doubt, every limitation. Return to the root. Whisper to yourself the words that shape your destiny, I am. Let them be pure. Let them be whole. Let them be the seed of the life you are choosing. Because in this simple truth lies the greatest power. What you plant within, must grow without. For countless generations, the wisest among us have repeated the same simple truth. You have no one to change but yourself. The world outside, the streets, the jobs, the relationships, the money, it has no independent power. It does not create you. It only mirrors what you have already planted within. Every thought, every feeling, every belief, these are the invisible currents that animate the outer world. They sustain it, shape it, and transform it. The universe is not some distant machine running on fixed laws. It is a living reflection of the consciousness it contains. Through imagination, you step beyond ordinary perception. Through self-inquiry, you dissolve every limiting identification, every label, role, expectation. You return to the pure essence of I am. A state of awareness untouched by fear, doubt, or limitation. And from this infinite space, you choose. You select the qualities you wish to embody. I am strong. I am free. I am abundant. I am love. This is not wishful thinking. It is not some abstract concept meant to soothe or motivate you. It is the direct use of the laws of reality itself. Laws that have been hidden for centuries, carefully obscured to keep humanity powerless. But now, you can awaken to them. The astonishing truth is this: you are not living in the universe. The universe exists within you. Every moment presents a threshold, a doorway to infinite dimensions. Every thought, every choice, every internal state is a key. Every moment, you are selecting which life you step into. When you fully realize this, the sense of being a victim of circumstance evaporates. You no longer blame luck, other people, or the world for the life you experience. You awaken as a conscious co-creator, aligned with the force that spins galaxies into existence, the same force that moves stars and shapes entire realities. Feel it now, the pulse of creation flows through you. Your awareness is the spark that ignites entire worlds. Your I am resonates outward, and the universe responds in kind. Every emotion, every thought, every act of attention is a brushstroke on the canvas of existence. Every intention, every vision, every belief is a seed. And you are the gardener of infinite realities, nurturing the life you wish to see. The outer world is no longer your teacher. It is your mirror. And when you master your inner state, the reflection aligns perfectly with your vision. Imagine standing at the edge of reality, looking across infinite possibilities. Each pathway pulses with light, waiting for your awareness to select it. And as you step forward, a life emerges, not by chance, not by struggle, but by the deliberate power of your consciousness. This is awakening. This is what it means to live as a creator. You are no longer swept along by circumstances. You are the composer of the symphony, the artist of the canvas, the architect of worlds. And the beauty is this: you do not need permission. You do not need validation. You only need to remember, you are the origin, the source, the I am, from which all else flows. So breathe in, and feel it now, the infinite power of your being, the creative energy waiting inside, the universe ready to obey your conscious command. This is your awakening. This is your birthright. The truth is simple, yet world-shattering. You are not just living in this world. You are living out of this world. And the hidden access has always been within you. Not in temples, not in books, not in the stars. But in your very awareness, waiting for you to remember. Every breath is a doorway. Every thought is a choice. Every I am you claim is a seed shaping the universe you walk into. So pause. Breathe. Remember who you are. A creator. A traveler across dimensions. A soul awakening to its infinite power. If this message resonated with you, let it be more than just a passing thought. Take action, align with the higher truth of who you are. Like this video if it stirred something inside you. Subscribe for more hidden truths and awakenings. Share it with those who are ready to see beyond the veil. And in the comments, write the words, "It made sense to me." So others will know that awakening is spreading, and that you are part of it. Because this is not just my message, it is our awakening. And together, we are remembering the greatest truth of all. The universe is not outside you. It is living through you.